The West Village, Chelsea, Times Square, love it or hate it, it's certainly what you identify New York with. So there's a lot of the sort of touchstones of what makes New York, New York. Hell's Kitchen, all the way up to Lincoln Center, it hits Columbus Circle. A lot of the most dynamic parts of the city, a lot of the most creative parts of the city that are so close to Midtown and the financial district and the business centers, but still really feel like neighborhoods.
An irresponsible nightlife causes a lot of problems. People out on the streets, they're drunk, they're causing, a ruckus, there's a rise in crime, and residents who, many of whom lived there for decades, suddenly find themselves in the middle of a Mardi Gras environment. They didn't ask for it, and they don't want it outside their windows. So we work very hard to try to ensure the highest quality of life possible for the residents of the community.
There are these hidden pockets of poverty throughout the neighborhood, and they're invisible populations. And people don't necessarily see that there are seniors living in walk-up tenement buildings, because when you look from the outside, you see Starbucks or the brand name organizations, and you see the much larger buildings going up on the periphery of the neighborhood, but they don't necessarily see all the hidden pockets of need in the neighborhood.
Just so difficult to navigate, when you're just going from one block to another. There's just so much foot traffic now. And it just doesn't seem like the city planned on that. They just seem like Giuliani, Bloomberg went crazy and built all these high-rises without factoring the sanitation, the water, the electricity, because really, Times Square is not comfortable at all.
Especially in Manhattan, there's been a real disappearance of gas stations because they're all being developed, and that actually creates a lot of environmental issues because those gas stations, which have often been there for decades and decades and decades, have all of these chemicals soaked in underground, and they have to be remediated before they can be developed. And so oftentimes there's issues about, is that being done properly? Is the proper care being taken care of? People get very concerned when there's construction next door because of their health, because of potentially environmental issues. So these all definitely come into play in these neighborhoods a lot.
Honestly, I'd want open communication. And really, I never like to go to anybody with a problem, but I'd like to talk about the issues and potential solutions so we can work together in the neighborhood.
You want to promote entertainment industry and the theater industry and things like that, but you want to make sure that when you cross 8th Avenue, it still feels like a residential neighborhood where the predominant businesses are the local restaurants and stores and things like that that serve local residents as well as increasingly visitors.
Look around right now. What would happen if something really terrible, some civic disorder happened? I don't think all these people here would know what to do other than panic. If there was this information that was given to all the business owners, here's what you should do, just so that it would minimize any further kind of casualties or, God forbid, anything negative.